Hello, Scorpio. For today's reading, we are going to be creating messages of guidance that are a soul activation to you and whatever it is that you are working through at this time. So, for today's reading, we are using the beautiful and sacred Beyond Lemuria Oracle cards. And this deck is one that I have worked with for quite some time on my own. Deeply personal deck to me, and it's one of those decks that I really wanted to keep to myself, but I felt guided these past few weeks to create soul activation messages of guidance for all the signs with this deck and to share the beautiful, powerful, activating illustrations and messages of guidance that want to come through for you today. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, Scorpio. All right, so let's see. Oh, wow, your cards are already jumping out. I'm also feeling some like throat chakra energy coming in, like a little bit of a block. So there could be something that you're definitely needing to open up and communicate about. And I'm actually feeling like you need to communicate about this with yourself. So there's something that you may be kind of pushing down a little bit, and hiding from yourself, not wanting to speak out about it. Not wanting to work through it, but it's going to come up one way or another. And Spirit's actually coming in saying that some of you may be feeling a little bit under the weather. And part of that is because you're not being honest with yourself about what it is that you're working through internally on a mental or emotional level. Like there's something that you're just kind of wanting to avoid, you're not wanting to face it. And so when we go through an experience like that, oftentimes our bodies will tell us, it's time to rest and it's time to reflect and communicate about this with ourselves. So just be mindful of that. All right, so we have 17, awakened awareness. Awakened awareness, yeah, there's something that you are awakening to, something that you may not be allowing yourself to be aware of. 16, loving compassion. Well, we have 16 and then 17. Bring that compassion back to yourself. 53, transformation. Yeah, you're going through some type of transformation right now. We also have a lot of purples here, so definitely a third eye activation as well. Wow, and number 4, solar plexus chakra, radiant illumination. Okay, Scorpio, your messages are coming in like wildfire right now. And there's like, I'm seeing like so much symbolism, like Spirit's like, look at all the symbols coming through on these cards. Look at the numerology. Look at all of it. And so that is a sign that the universe is trying to communicate with you right now, through signs, symbols, and synchronicities. And I feel that you may keep putting a block up to it because it's requiring you to go through this transformational process. It's something that you're going to be required to bring this energy of love towards. It's also going to require you to tap into your own innate power. Our power center is our solar plexus chakra. And so it's something that it's like this energy where it's going to require you to tap into your inner strength. And a lot of the times when we are feeling called to tap into our inner strength, it's because we're going through something that is challenging, that is hard, something that we may not necessarily want to be going through. And so you may be in that experience right now where you're working through some things that are a little bit more challenging, and they are requiring you to call upon your sense of love and trust in yourself. They're also requiring you to tap into your innate power, your confidence, and use your voice, because we have that throat chakra energy coming in, and there's actually a lot of blues here as well, which represent the throat chakra. It's requiring you to use your voice and to speak up about your truth to yourself is what keeps coming through. So it's not something that you really need to like shout from the rooftops or have a conversation with somebody else about. It's just something that you need to talk about out loud to yourself. Okay, so Spirit's saying you can do this through like journaling it out with yourself, just talking it through with yourself, talking to yourself when you're at home. And then also like therapy or a mentor is coming through as well, like a safe space where you can talk through this energy that you're working through right now. Okay, and then Spirit also wanted me to share about the numerology here. So we already have the 16, 17 came up, where this is about taking steps. And these steps, it's like it's a journey that you've already been on. So you may have been working through this transformational process for quite some time. I'm seeing like maybe a couple years where you've been going through some type of big transformation. And now you're at the phase of like 6, 7, 8. Like you're like almost approaching the end of the cycle, but you're really in the thick of it. Like you're in the midst of this transformation, which means you are approaching the retrieval or achieval of what you've been trying to work towards, what you've been trying to gain and receive. And a lot of times when you get that close to crossing the finish line or almost approaching what it is that you're going to receive and achieve, things get a little bit more challenging. You know, it's like you're almost there, but that's going to be the hardest part of this climb. And so that's where we have that message of strength coming in. Also, what's coming through is when you're in the thick of it, you start to question if this is what you really want, and you start to see things about this experience that you could not see before because you were in a completely different space. You were completely different space all around. Like you there were things you didn't know. You probably didn't have the knowledge or the skills or the wisdom or the experience that you have now. And so you couldn't see the truth, the depth of truth of what this experience actually means, what it actually requires of you, and what it's going to continue to require of you. And so you are awakening to that deeper awareness. That's why we have the awakened awareness card there, where you're questioning if this is something that you actually want to continue pursuing, if this is something that you actually want. Okay, and that's something that you're going to be working through over the next few days, weeks, and months is what I'm getting here. And the outcome to that answer is going to be different for every single one of you, where some of you, you're going to say, yes, this is absolutely what I want. And you're going to have to tap into that inner strength, continue pushing forward, bringing loving compassion to yourself, continue tapping into that inner power. And then for some of you, you're going to decide that it's not what you actually want. You don't want to continue forward with this process. And it doesn't mean that your transformation is going to end. It just means that this is part of the transformation. Like you've been on this cycle, and whether you've been aware of what you're going to be coming up and learning about now, I mean, for not like all of you, you have not been aware of what it's actually going to take, what it's actually going to require of you. But you're stepping into that awareness now. And even though you may be deciding, as you tap into that awareness, you may be deciding that this is not something you want to pursue. It doesn't mean the journey is over. This is a stepping stone to your journey, to your transformation. It's just something that you couldn't see from where you were at. And it's not something, it's like your future self can't quite yet see what your future self is mapping out and planning for you in your decision and choices to not continue pursuing what it is that you're pursuing, because it is very challenging and you're just deciding that it's not something that you no longer want to be pursuing. Okay, and the same thing for you. If you decide that this is something you are going to be closing the door on, it's going to require you to bring loving compassion and to step into your power, because you're going to have to admit to yourself that this is not something that's going to work for you, okay? And Spirit's coming in and they're saying this doesn't mean that you made a mistake. It doesn't mean that you're wrong. It just means that you have changed your mind. You have gained experience, you've gained wisdom, you've gained knowledge that is now guiding you to make a different choice. That's all that it is. It's just guiding your path into a different direction than the path that you thought you wanted to pursue, the path that you wanted to continue being upon. Okay, you're still on that same path. It's just the mental awareness of what you've been doing is now shifting. It's like you're shifting the physical experience and the mental experience and the emotional experience of it as well. Okay. But it doesn't mean that anything's wrong. It doesn't mean that you've made a mistake. It just means that things are changing because you have that new level of awareness. Okay, wow, your messages were really coming through so strong, so loud and clear. Another thing I want to talk about is this beautiful imagery here with the transformation. You have been held in so much love, so much compassion, so much safety throughout this journey, whether you know it or not. Okay, your angels, your ancestors, your guides have been walking along this path with you this entire time, and they are still walking alongside this path with you, and they are carrying you through this journey. And so I know that things are a little tough right now. So when they get tough, when they get hard, mentally, emotionally, or physically, or even spiritually, you can always call upon your angels, your guides, your ancestors, your loved ones to help guide you through whatever it is that you're going through. And they will deliver. They've already delivered. They already know what you need. They already know what you require. That's why we had that message coming through about the signs, symbols, and synchronicities. Like, that's your angels, that's your guides trying to show you the way, trying to guide you through this path. And they're also trying to show you like just how powerful you are and how deeply connected to your intuition and the universe that you are. Like, you have this deep, loving, fluid connection to the universe. Like, you are a water sign, Scorpio, and water signs are deeply passionate. I wasn't going to say passionate, but deeply passionate, deeply connected to their intuition, and like things are just like always flowing in and out, in and out, in and out. And so that could also be where some of the, like, where you may have like a tendency to have some struggles or doubts come in, is when you're going through that ebb and flow. When things get really high, it's like really positive, but then when you go into that lower space because things are flowing out or things are changing, transforming, you may tend to kind of question if things are really right for you. Okay, so something that's coming through, Scorpio, is to, because you're a water-based sign, you may want to connect with and learn about the different phases of the moon, because the moon, it influences the tides, it influences the ebb and flow of water, and you are a water sign. And so you may want to learn about the different phases that the moon passes through, the different phases and the different signs, because this could definitely have significance over how you're feeling throughout your day to day, because the moon changes astrology signs every 2 to 3 days. So every 2 to 3 days, you may be feeling a different way than you were feeling the previous 2 to 3 days. And then the moon changes phases, about every week to week and a half. Okay. And so again, like, the phases can definitely also influence how you're feeling week to week as well. Okay. So that may be something you want to look into to help you understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and where, you may kind of go through those phases of like feeling really good, feeling on top of the world, and then kind of going into those lower spaces, feeling a little confused, letting doubt come in. It will help you to kind of weed out any of that doubt and to clear it out. Okay, let's see if anything else comes through here for you today, Scorpio. Your messages were really, really strong, really powerful, and like straight to the point there. Spirit's just coming in and they're saying that and you need to trust yourself. Like, you have, we talked about the third eye coming through here. Like, you have clarity, you have internal vision. Some of you may be clairvoyant and you see things before they happen, or you just know, you may have claircognizance, where you just know when things are going to happen and how they're going to happen. And you have to trust in that, trust in your innate power and your innate gifts, and bring love to them. Okay, these are not weaknesses, these are your strengths, these are your gifts, and they are meant to help guide you throughout your journey and throughout your life experiences. Okay, loves? All right, so I'm going to pull some more cards from this deck here. This is the Healing Waters Oracle. Okay, I put this card in wrong. So we'll take it. This just came out in the Libra. But I guess I put it in there the wrong direction. But we'll take that out. So the rainbow. Sweet relief, new beginnings, a new way forward. You needed that. Sweet relief. Sweet relief is coming. It's already present. If you decide that there's a sweet relief already present, then it is so. Okay, let's get one more. All right, let's see what your oracle cards are. Okay, so we have Beneath the surface. Wow, this is what I shared about before I uncovered any of your cards. What's really driving you? True motives, breaking free. And we also have King Tide, plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. Yes. All right, Scorpio. So what are you hiding from yourself? What is beneath the surface? What are you not being honest with yourself about? And for some of you, it's around what we talked about, where you are deciding that you have gained new wisdom. You've finally put yourself on this path where you've been able to experience it to the fullest. And now you're deciding if this is something that you want to continue moving forward with or not. And again, Scorpio, it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to say, you know what, I gave this a try, I gave it a chance, and I don't think this is something that's meant for me. And then again, for some of you, this is a path that you do want to continue forward with, but you have to make that choice for yourself. And you have to be honest with yourself about why you initially chose to pursue this path and why you're continuing to pursue it now. Is it still in alignment with who you have become now that you've allowed yourself to experience this path and these choices, this relationship, this job, this career, these choices, these changes, this transformation, whatever it is that you've been working through, is it still in alignment with who you have become now? Is it in alignment with your morals and your values? Are the things that motivating you, are they from within you or are they from outside of you? Have you been influenced by something outside of you to make these choices? And if you have, are those choices that you would have made if those influences didn't exist? And can you decide now to continue making those choices with love, honesty, power, trust, and confidence in yourself? Or is this something that you no longer want to support? Is this something that you no longer believe in? And if so, it's okay. You need to hear that. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your mind, because once you experience the fullness of something, once you fully allow yourself to be immersed in it, that's when you really know if this is meant for you or not. And it can be very easy to get caught up in those illusions and false mindsets of, well, I've already put so much time and energy and dedication into this, I have to just keep pushing forward. No, you don't. You do not. If you've come into the awareness that there are things that are wrong about this path, wrong to you, okay? Like if there are things that just don't align with you about this path because you've developed a new sense of awareness, and you've finally allowed yourself to fully experience this path, this experience, and you decide it's not for you, it's not for you. You don't have to stay committed because of A, B, and C, or he said, she said, or all the time and money and energy that you put into it, because it's not going to bring you love, it's not going to bring you peace, it's not going to bring you joy. And by choosing yourself, that's when that relief is going to come in. That's when the path is going to open up for the new way forward. That's when the prosperity is going to align, and that's when you'll really get to see the full scope of what this life has to offer you, okay? Because right now you're operating in a very small space, very small mindset, because you are thinking, convincing yourself that you have to continue forward with this path because of all the time, energy, and effort that you have put into it, when you don't have to. People change their choices, their life path, their decisions every single day, and you can make a different choice for yourself today too. Okay, let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards now. So for these readings, I'm only pulling 2 tarot cards. So let's see what your tarot cards are. We're pulling from the Tarot of the Divine. I'm just going to shuffle the deck a couple times, and then we'll get your cards. Water keeps coming up for you, Scorpio. So get to a water source. Get to a natural water source, and some of you need to let the tears flow too. Let the tears flow. You need to allow yourself to process this. All right, let's see. And tears can represent a storm. They can represent that rainfall. After you allow yourself to process that and release the storm from within your being in that physical sense, letting yourself cry, letting the tears flow, letting the energy flow, that's when the rainbow hope comes in. That's when the relief, the breakthrough, the understanding, the love, the power, the confidence, the knowing, that's when that will come through. Okay, so we have Page of Coins. And we have the Empress. So prayer work is definitely being guided for you here. It's definitely being recommended, where you're being guided to do some prayer work. I didn't notice we also have this lady here on her knees kind of praying. So working with your angels, working with your guides, your ancestors, working with God, calling upon God, your higher power, whatever you believe in, your angels, your ancestors, praying to them and asking to help guide you through this experience, and knowing that you are not alone in this experience, and you've never been alone in this experience. Again, you have never been alone as you've been walking through this journey and this life path. Your angels, your guides, your ancestors have always been there. God, Goddess has always been there supporting you and showing you the way. Okay, Spirit's coming through and they're saying to try this exercise. Think of something that you want to see, like a symbol. Okay, so I'm just going to use a symbol of like the roses here. So say you want to see a rose. Just say to yourself. You don't need to say it out loud. Just think it to yourself in your mind. I want to see a rose, or I want to receive a rose. I would say see, okay, because you don't want to have any attachments to this. But just say you want to see a rose, okay? And then just let it go. And you don't have to choose a rose. Spirit's saying choose whatever symbol resonates with you. It can be anything. It could be a number, a sequence of numbers, anything that you do not have attachments to. And don't let it be a sign that you've already asked to see before. Let it be something completely new. Just think to yourself, that's what you want to see. Ask your angels, your ancestors, God, universe, to say to yourself in your mind that you want to see that. And say you want to see it in the physical world, okay? Not on your phone when you're like scrolling through, TikTok or whatever. Just say, this is what I want to see in my reality, in my physical reality. Just say it to yourself and then watch how fast that comes through for you. That is going to show you just how connected you are to your intuition and how much your angels, your guides, your ancestors, God, universe is listening to you and helping guide you through this experience and through your life journey overall. Okay, we also have the Page of Coins over here, which is highlighting safety, security, which is next to the King tide here with plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. Okay, so for some of you, this, all that we talked about could be related to career, it could be related to finances in some way, where maybe you've been in this career path for a very long time and now you're deciding that this is not a career path that is meant for you. Maybe you've been working for a company for a very long time. Things have changed within that company since you first started, or now you're in higher up positions and you're realizing how things work behind the scenes and it just does not vibe with you. And so you may be kind of questioning your sense of security, your sense of safety if you were to decide to leave this job behind. But you have the Page of Coins, you also have the King of Tide, and you have the Empress, which just means that you are going to be creating a new way forward for your sense of safety and security and financial support. And Spirit's also coming in and saying, if you resonate with that, that's not going to resonate with everyone, the part about the career, but Spirit wants you to ask yourself, do you feel safe and secure with what you're experiencing and connecting with right now in this moment? And if the answer is no, then that means it's time to move on. Let this thing go, transform it, transmute it, so that you can align with spaces where you do feel safe and secure and supported, because you deserve to feel safe and secure and supported in any area of life. But for some of you, especially in your career field and your work life, you want to keep yourself protected. You want to keep yourself safe. And if you don't feel safe and protected in the spaces that you're at now, whether it's from a physical, emotional, or mental sense, then it's okay to look for something new, to transmute this energy, to turn it into something new. So be honest with yourself about what it is that you're questioning, why you're questioning it, and where those changes need to be made. And then we have the Empress here, which is also about creativity. And so some of you are going to be you're creating new life choices. You're making some big choices in your life right now. Also, Spirit's guiding you to get connected with your creative energy, okay? Sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra are right next to each other. The Empress represents that sacral chakra energy, okay? You're also a very sensual sign, Scorpio, very creative sign. Like, again, that flow, it's always moving through. You can tap into your creative flow at any moment, any point in time. And I think through allowing yourself to be creative, practice some type of creative outlet, drawing, painting, knitting, sewing, quilting, whatever it is that allows you to feel creative, digital design, okay? Anything that allows you to feel creative and to exercise your creative energy is going to help you bring that loving based compassion back to yourself as you move through this transformation that you're working through at this time. Okay, it's also going to help you tap into that innate power that you possess, that you hold. I also feel that for some of you, just a random message coming in, you may be receiving some type of artistic gift from somebody very soon, where somebody may be creating something for you. And this could also be connected to like those signs and symbols that we talked about, where it's like you're going to receive a creative gift that just kind of blows you away in the sense of showing you how connected things are in the universe and in this like earthly realm, where it's like something that you may have said you wanted, and then somebody like paints it or draws it or creates it on like a digital media file for you, and they gift it to you, even though you never communicated this with them. It's like just something you communicated with yourself about, or you were just thinking about, and then a loved one or a friend just decides to draw this thing up or paint it up, and then they gift it to you, and you're just completely surprised at how connected things are. Okay, let's go ahead and draw your last card now. So the last card that I'm drawing for these readings is from the Self-Awareness Oracle deck, and these are questions and journal prompts that you can ask yourself to reflect on as you work through and integrate the messages that we talked about in your reading today. And then you can also journal, your answer to the question if you feel called to it. Some of them aren't questions too. Some of them are like little tasks that you can choose to practice. Let's see, what is Scorpio's journal prompt? Here we go. Wow, this also came out in Libra's reading, and I put all the cards back in the middle of the deck. Wow, this came out in Libra's reading too. So if you have Libra placements, you may want to check out Libra's reading as well. Okay, so this is, how can I surrender even more in this moment? How can you surrender even more in this moment? It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what you desire, but it's equally important for you to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know it is coming. This like perfectly sums up everything we talked about in your reading. Like, this is the energy that you really need to embody at this time. Like, just having complete trust in what it is that you're feeling intuitively, making those choices, making those decisions, and then trusting that the universe is going to guide you and carry you through into the next thing that does feel more supportive, that does feel more loving, that does allow you to feel held, to feel safe, and to feel loved. So today's soul action, know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone. Scorpio, you are not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God can produce miracles in your life. The more you surrender, the more God can produce miracles in your life. So this is your mantra. I surrender. I accept all that I cannot change. I release the outcome, and I joyfully trust the process. All right, Scorpio. So what's coming through here is you cannot change the past. You cannot change the choices that you made in the past, and you are not meant to. If you did not go through what you went through to get to this point, you would not be able to make this decision that moving forward, this is not right for you, or that this is right for you. You wouldn't be able to do that because you wouldn't have had the experiences that you had to be able to come to this point of understanding and realizing that the choices you made just no longer resonate with you. And that's okay. Remember that. You can look back on the past, who you once were, with love, joy, and gratitude, okay? It may take time for you to come to that understanding, but, Spirit really wants you to know that it's okay that you made those choices. You wouldn't be able to get to this point that you're at now had you gone a different way, had you gone a different route. And so you had to go through those experiences in order to get to the point that you're at today, in order to be able to tap into that inner strength, in order to be able to bring this love back to yourself and to make the choices that you're going to make today and in the next couple days, weeks, and months for yourself and your life path moving forward. Okay, loves. All right, Scorpio, so that is it for your soul activation messages. I thank you so much for tuning into this reading today. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you again, Scorpio. Until next time, bye, loves.